Yeah, I think he just pulled up actually. Yeah, there he is.
Chat, why do I feel like I'm losing more money in my bank?
Konbanwa, Nina-san. Genki desu ka?
Huh?
Good
Hola.
evening, Nino. How you doing?
What did you say?
I said Konbanwa, Nino-san. Genki desu ka?
Konbanwa Nino-san.
Konbanwa, Nino-san.
Konbanwa Nino-san.
Genki
Dinky?
desu ka?
Dinky?
Genki.
Why are you guys smoking cigarettes for? It's bad for your health.
I like to smoke. It calms me down.
It helps me remind myself. It's relaxation. I mean, you seen everything around us?
Stressful.
Yeah. I just hold my trophy.
I got you. That's pretty good stress reliever too, actually.
Yeah.
My God. What is that?
It's best mechanic in the city, so I just have it.
Oh shit!
pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. So what's going on, guys?
Well, you know, I think not much. I think it's just time that we had a meeting of the minds.
Yes, very true. I think this is something we've all wanted, and since all the bullshit that's been going on lately, I think we need to do something about it.
What's the it?
You know, the alleyway repairs that people been doing and the constant bullshit that's been going on. And
You know,
sending fish hooks over the wall to get their their parts and stuff like that, you know.
it's crazy because it wasn't until I think like yesterday, between what Mary had told me and what I heard from some others, that I even knew that this shit was happening.
It's wild. Mary filled me in on so much shit yesterday. I was actually blown away. And when me and Mary talked a while ago, and she brought up the union, I was like, you know what? I think it's actually time we do something about it.
Oh, fuck, Cindy's calling me. I'm gonna tell him I'll be in a second. Yo, I'll be down the shop in a bit. I'll see you in a second. Bye. I will not see him in a second.
Who's that?
It's Dundee.
Yeah, he tried talking to me early, and I just, I got a felony because of Dundee, Nino.
No.
Yep.
The fuck?
Yep. He decided to, for the third time, I already told Mary about it. He decided to come to the shop trying to blow up the air compressor. One of his guys got out. I bopped him over the head with a wrench, and because there's no stand your ground law on business properties, I got assaulted with a deadly.
What?
Because there's no legislation for stand your ground in businesses.
Wait, hold on. So he came to the shop and he did what?
He tried blowing up the air compressor.
Okay.
And caused catastrophic damage. Yes, but I didn't have any hard evidence because he had a picture of afterwards when one of his boys got incapacitated from when I hit him with the wrench. I just ran to the canals to see if they get the fuck out of my get away from my place. I seen his friend's body on the ground, so I brought it inside to wait for the cops. And Dundee decided to take a picture because he tried hitting me with the car, so I took my knife out, so they considered me the aggressor because I didn't have any other evidence, even though there was a huge crack in the air compressor.
You brought this to court?
Yeah, went to court and everything, and the judge and both prosecution cops agreed with me, even the judge. But since it's nowhere written in the law, they had no other choice but to charge me with the charge.
Yeah, but at that point, it's not standing your ground over the property; it's over your own well-being.
Yep. Well, it didn't fit anything because it looked like I was the aggressor with a knife in my hand, but it was when Dundee tried hitting me with a car, and then he got out and took a picture.
Oh shit.
Yep. So they found me guilty on that, and now it might affect me with my business license, but hopefully the judge said to go back to her, and she might be able to get it dropped down to a misdemeanor, assault and battery, and hopefully Siobhan works some magic as my lawyer.
All right.
Fingers crossed, man.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, I think this is the Mosley thing is a good thing for everybody. Like, I think the margins as well. It opens it up for a little bit more like proper negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here I'm just gonna kind of lay things out. I'm about to have a pretty solid supply of materials, so I can basically get you guys every many parts you need. So the price point that I chose, the $50, could kind of go up. It could go down. It kind of depends on how parts prices are
Chat,
looking,
Vinny
and then
won't be
obviously,
mentioning
like,
that he
what
gets his
Rusty is
own
charging.
parts.
The goal that I have in mind is I want to be able to supply you guys with cheap enough parts that you can make a pretty good, decent profit off of repair. So, like, let's say that we were hypothetically charging $70 per part at the mechanic shop here. You'd be making like $20 per part profit. So, if someone was getting 20 parts done, they'd be making $400, which is profit. That's cash in your pocket that you make, which is pretty decent, I think. I think it's a good margin. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe it's not enough.
What was
but I
the
think it's
what
pretty
was
good.
the pop price again?
At $50 per. Let's say
I think that's
hypothetically.
reasonable.
Yeah, who
I think,
DM'd you, Raccoon, that you
hypothetically,
showed
if,
up?
I gave you guys parts for 50, and you sold them or used them and charged around 70 to 75. I think you're making a pretty good profit.
I do not disagree. I think that's good. Okay. I think well let me ask another question here. Right now we should be getting them for
75.
70.
Actually, I think it's
Do you
technically a bit more
know-
because it's.
Are you a master
65
mechanic yet,
65
Mary?
plus tax. I was the first one, yeah.
Okay, so it's 65 plus tax from the guy upstairs,
It
right?
should be $75 after
75.
tax, yeah.
Okay, after tax. Okay.
Yeah, from him.
Okay.
So that's why I chose the price point of 75. But the thing, that could always change, right? It could always go up. It could always go down. Who
Yeah.
knows? The thing is, I want to keep. I want to make sure there's a good margin for the mechanics actually doing the work.
Hello.
Right? That's important.
Hello, this is John from Connected Telemarketing. Hashtag stay connected. Is this Vincent Pistone?
Yes, sir. I'm currently in a meeting right now. Would you be able to call me back in like 5 minutes? I'm in an important meeting about mechanic union.
Don't worry, I'm busy as well. Don't got time to talk to you.
Okay,
Just
but-
text me what you want your advertisement for the day, and I'll handle it.
Thank you, sir.
Stay
Appreciate it.
connected.
Bye-bye now. Apologies. That was that stay connected guy, Mary, that we were just talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the
You called Jeff
advertisements. Yeah.
I got you. Cool.
Stay
Right.
connected?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's
an
a new one.
advertising firm that we're using.
Yeah, so they send mass texts out all throughout the city to everybody's phone, and they advertise your business.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of great.
got you.
But yeah, so it's important to me that mechanics are making money. It's even more important to me that independent shops such as this have a way to thrive and they can exist. So they're not getting choked out, right? Because, I mean, if I wanted to, I could give these parts to my guys, have them push them through Mosley's at like $50, $60 per, and like you guys would be fucked. There's nothing you could do about it. But I don't want that. I want you guys to thrive. I want there to be more than one stop to go. I do not want to stifle competition by any means, because I think that competition is good for business.
Okay.
As counterintuitive as that might seem, I think
No,
that
I don't.
competition is
I don't
good.
think it's counterintuitive.
Chat, we're
when
just
I,
we're just sucking this all in
I was
right now.
notepadding this morning, and I came to the realization that there's a couple ways things could go. One is what you described, right? If someone takes control of the entire supply chain, what that means is everyone else would create their own supply chain.
Yeah.
And then we would be competing for prices, driving everything down. And now everyone is going to be sitting there with their dick in their hand, making like 50 cents on.
Mary, can you
Exactly.
give me
You
the
know.
exact numbers again so I can write it down in my book?
What, for parts?
Yeah, for parts through you.
Yeah, it's $50 per part. That's just for now, though. That could always change. What I've been doing is I just have this notebook here I take orders with. So I just hand it to someone, and then you can just kind of, you'll always see it. It's kind of a work in progress. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just kind of something I've been using. So
Thank you.
pretty simple. It just kind of lists what I have up top, and then down below you just put what you want, and then I get it for you. Obviously, I have access. I do have a website for Mosley's and stuff. Like we already have an internal order tracking and shit like that. So we could always do that same thing for orders. If you guys ever want to just submit an order on the website, I could just send a guy over and just bring it to you. Really, it'd be pretty simple to do. But that's just like down the line if we can really make things work, you know.
Yeah. So you're stating 50 per part, it could go up or down, and then we charge 75 per
always-
part.
Yeah, and the important thing here is that there's a big margin for your mechanics to make their money on.
Yeah.
So like if you guys wanted to buy
Chat,
them
what
and then
Mary
sell them
doesn't
to
know
your
is that
guys
we
for
have our own
$2
bench.
extra, or if you want to just distribute them,
What
however you
Mary
want to do
doesn't
it,
understand is that we have
fine
our
with
own
you
bench.
guys, but
That's what I'm not
you'd have
talking
a cheap
about.
supply of parts coming in with a lot of profit to be made on it.
Mm-hmm.
It'd keep you guys fed, it would keep you in business, and most importantly, people would not be bitching at you guys about how expensive prices are because you would have cheap parts. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to my partnership about it. It's definitely something we could work on. Now,
Thank you.
I've already showed it to Vinny, so you just send it back
yeah.
to me. Arigato.
Actually, let me see it again so I could just take notes of my own, if you don't mind.
Sure.
It is. All right, perfect. Here you go, madame.
Arigato.
Arigato. How do you
Please say
guys
daijoubu.
feel about? Wait, what do I say?
Daijoubu.
Bezo what?
Daijoubu.
I don't like Jeff Bezos. All he wants to do is run ads all day.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
What do you guys think about a union for the mechanic shops? For the mechanics?
What would the value in that be? Like what would be?
I think it's like a source for us to another avenue for us in the sense of we could have union dues, be able to supply them with things down the line. So this is just like you know, more of a thought process. We could potentially down the line we could have medical and dental if you're a mechanic and you pay your dues within the union, stuff like that.
I mean,
I think the danger of it is we're all have our aspirations, right? That are going to
Yeah.
be a little bit different from one another. And I think if we're too, lining up our prices to some degree,
Yeah.
right? I don't mean everyone's going to match, right? That's unreasonable. But I think being aligned somewhat in the same ballpark, I think is healthy for us.
100%.
But I think beyond that, it may limit our aspirations on an individual business level. You know
Well,
what I mean?
no. That's what Mary. I'm talking about a union as a whole worldwide thing within the city for mechanics, as like we would be like representatives of the union, like the higher ups of the union, and being offered to like offer them medical and dental that way they can maybe get a cheaper rate when they go pick up prescriptions and go to the doctors and stuff like that, like basic union stuff that people do.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I
So,
was looking at. Like,
A voice for getting mechanics more.
what
That's
happened?
what I'm hearing. A voice for getting mechanics more.
Yes,
So, for
exactly.
example, this issue, it sounds like you're saying, like, for example, this issue that we're facing where motherfuckers go and buying their parts, fixing it on the side of the road, which,
Yes.
by the way, this whole roadside mechanic thing, right? When I kicked it off, I know some others were doing similar. The whole idea was, you still go to a fucking mechanic shop to repair it. Some of these fucks have been going and repairing people on the side of the road.
yeah.
Oh, trust me, I know. Some guy in a grime vehicle asked me. He told me, "Hey, can you just repair my vehicle?" I said, "Yeah, you go down to the shop." He's like, "No, I have tow truck drivers that literally just do full on
Yep.
repairs." I said, "Excuse me?" I
Yep.
said, "Do they have the tools for it?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Well, they shouldn't be doing that. They should be going to a fucking mechanic shop."
Yep.
That's why Rusty's prices are so big, and that's why I can get you these parts for so cheap, because basically they shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
I think what you're getting at here, Vinny, is a union that can push forward those kind of similar issues that might crop up in the future.
Yes.
I mean, generally speaking, I'd be okay with that.
And like we could be the people that sit at the table and we can make those decisions and what we can offer the mechanic workers in the sense of we could potentially be able to get like, say, in the future, we could have a union snap-on truck that has a bunch of tools for mechanics that they could use and they'll get lower prices for them if they're part of the union, stuff like that. if you pay your union dues, so all stuff like that.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. The idea of a union gives me the ick, and not because like I don't like it, but because I don't really want to go ask my guys to pay for things, especially dues to a ominous organization that they potentially could have no fucks to give about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in the past, what most mechanic shops have done is we've agreed to work with each other and not against each other, and that was enough. I mean, the issue with getting a union going is the buy-in is going to be basically non-existent for most of the people. Like, I can already tell you, if I go to my guys, I'm like, hey guys, for $250 a week, you can join a union. We'll give you cheap parts. A lot of them are going to be like, that is fucking stupid.
Well,
And they're gonna
obviously
be pissed, so-
obviously it's just a thought right now, right? But
I
like
got
maybe
you,
down
but
the
I'm telling you
line,
what
there's a
the
lot
issues
more
I
we
see
can
that-
offer. You know what I mean? And it's just
Yeah.
like for being being number one, a good worker, number two, part of a union, and you benefit from it.
I think that we should move the conversation from the union away from like giving them benefits and more towards political power and the voice of the mechanics. Because I think something like that would be pretty useful. But I think that trying to
Bro, Snap-on truck breaks my wallet
put
every
in what
week.
should really be the responsibility of the shop managers that you work for to do, and packing that into unions, not going to look that good for most of them. The managers of your shop should be getting this
I'll
shit
do
done.
some thinking because my old job, I was in a union, and it was really good to have a union and people to back you and stuff. So I'll do more thinking
of
behind it.
course,
Trust
yeah.
me. I think there's a lot that could be there for potential of offers for the union, for the union employees and stuff. I think it'll be cool. So I'll just think about that on my own. That's not a big deal. But yeah, man.
Got you.
What's up, Nino?
Yeah, generally speaking, unions are like, against the employer.
Yeah.
But I see where I think you're trying to go. With it, I say let's let it cook. But I think
Yeah.
in general, the thing too is like everything's kind of changing. Every couple days. The way the bosses are moving things around. But I think this conversation in general is very healthy. It's fucking cutthroat out there. My biggest worry right now, and I think we're going to see this at some stage, is with these prices going up, the value of our stock is our guys are going to be holding a lot of fucking money in their pockets.
Issue. Pretty big issue.
I did find out about a business account already. I don't know if anybody else has. I talked to Chief Justice Crane. He told me once the mayor gets put in place is where they're going to open up the books for business licenses and business accounts to be opened. Once that is done, there might be able to be a system through an app that we can actually get send invoices and it go right to the company account. So
that'll be good.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping for. But we have to wait for the whole mayorship thing and when the people have the seats at the table, and that's what we can look forward to in the future with that. Hopefully, right? So it's not a definite. It's something I just talked to him about, so we can see where that goes from there with all the business account stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we just gotta be patient when it comes to that. Well, listen, I think that, in the interim, for the short term, we should just think about how we're going to operate and try not to step on each other's toes too much. I mean, like, Dundee doesn't really know about anything that we're doing here, frankly. I can kind of talk things over with him and make them look good, and, we can move on. And frankly, we're kind of at the point in the shop where more people don't give a fuck about Dundee, and I could probably get rid of him soon, so...
I haven't had any problems with Dundee personally.
Yeah, let him find out
No,
you opened up the shop here. That's all I'll tell you.
He's probably going to give you a bunch of issues once you start advertising.
Once you advertise, he'll be sneaking around, checking out your
Really?
shop, making. Bro, this is all he's been doing to me every fucking day of my life. And I got to the point. That's why I got to the point the other night, bro. I had cops at my shop for 2.5 hours investigating. I spend
What
another
the
3
fuck?
hours in court afterwards. I'm not
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
even exaggerating to you, Nino. This is the extent. And he goes, I was just trying to spy, but all he's trying to do is just wreck my fucking place. The first time he ran so hard into that, you see how you have your paint booth back there?
Yeah.
He drove his car
Yeah.
so fast into the paint booth that he ejected out of the window, ended up on top of the
What?
fucking paint booth in the shop.
What'd you say?
Jesus fucking Christ.
And then I had EMS there, I had cops there fixing their vehicles. Why they're screaming at the top of his lungs, what the fuck you doing here? Fuck this place, come to Mosley's, I'll charge you cost price. This is what he's been doing to me. So the minute you start advertising, just be prepared for a little fucking mullet man coming here to just harass you. Nino, do I have your number, by the way?
I think so. I want to say.
Are you in the yellow pages?
Yeah, I'm in the yellow
Check.
pages right now. Yeah, I haven't really been advertising the shop because there's a lot of like
All right, there you go.
things to do in between. Oh fuck. All right. All right. So I'm gonna float an idea. I don't like to hear your opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the Mosley guy supposedly is going to be selling at a different price. Now, right now, he's selling at 144, right? Is that an opportunity we're looking to exploit, or do we want to use the base cost of what we think it's supposed to be, even though we don't know if that's what it will be? For all we know, it may stick at 144, and what we're seeing as a advertised sticker price may be inaccurate.
It's possible.
So my understanding, let me chime in quickly. My understanding, somebody like my partner Chip Dad had issues with his rep with Mosley's. Finally is gaining rep, but only could purchase wax because he's low level. A person that gets to like 50 rep with the guy, Rusty will talk to them and they charge them a high price for parts. Somebody like myself, I think it was like 108 a part, something like that, right? So prices are fluctuating depending on your rank with the Mosley guy, with the whether you go talk to the expert mechanic, the other guy, if you're a master mechanic, the prices fluctuate depending on what your rep is there. Now the problem is Mary, this is something that you guys need to do, is watch people, how often they come and work at Mosley's, if they're just randoms, just to see if they could buy parts.
Yeah, people are always going to do that. But here's the thing: we can't stop people from working that.
Yeah.
We don't have that option. Or ability
So
to
like
do
to
that.
say about the prices, how do we value the prices, but all prices different between different ranks as a mechanic, right? So how do we justify it?
Well, see, that's just the thing is we don't. We're probably going to have at Mosley's, or at least that's how I'm going to be doing it. Master mechanics will be responsible for buying the parts, and I'm going to be supplying cheap parts to my guys. So there shouldn't be a need for anyone that's not max. Enough with max to be buying parts.
The question I have for you is that obviously you said you're going to supply your mechanics with cheaper parts. Are they going to be at the same value you're trying to supply me and Nino with them?
Yeah, you have to remember,
Okay.
I have to make a bit of cash in there too. So
Yeah.
if I give them to them for cheaper, I make less money.
Yeah.
I don't get any money for what they do. I mean, really, it's in my best interest for that price that you guys get to be higher.
So where I was originally, what I was trying to say is, I think Mary, you and I see a very different price than I think most others.
That's true.
Right now.
Yeah, that's correct.
And so with that being said, when it comes to the repairs we're giving out, do we want to really revolve around that price or bump it up? Because we do have an opportunity here to be making a decent amount of money.
Chad, this is all great info Vinny's
I don't
getting.
know where I'm going with this
because
is
they don't
I
know that
how many
Vinny
master
has the
mechanics
bench with
there even
Chip.
is. So
There's a
that
few of
low end
them.
price may not be very accessible. Now,
I
I'm
know
not
at
trying to break
Mosley's
people's banks.
It's pretty somewhat accessible. That we usually have at least one or two around at all times. So I understand what you're saying, but I actually kind of don't disagree with you here with the line of logic that you're going down. The
It's
question
kind of
is
like if he's giving it to us for like what 72 after tax or whatever the fuck it is.
75.
Yeah, it's 75 after
75
tax
after
for
tax.
them.
Well, we
It's
could
like
charge more, yeah.
that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. But it's such a fine balancing act because I've been talking to fucking Group 6 and these other guys, and they're completely devastated. So
I
it's
know.
that balance of like, okay, well, are we going to gouge other
Yeah,
individuals?
she's trying to make
but at the
$22,
same
yeah.
time, what about our up, right?
I got you.
So the price list that I
100%.
have,
I think that there's a lot of market forces at work here, and what kind of happens is going to happen. I mean, we could
14
definitely
rubber.
try to influence it in our own way by
if we do
charging more.
2,
But let's say that, let's say other people start making parts and pushing them out there, and then all of a sudden I got competition. Maybe the prices go down and a
14.
race to the bottom starts. Like, who knows?
that's 28.
That's
Yeah.
how things could go. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen. I've been speaking with pretty much everyone involved, and no one is interested in that. But you never know.
So
Like,
she's
maybe
making
there's some fucking
$22
unknown
off each part.
seventh party out there that I've never met before, and they've never met me, and they have no interest in working with me. So, it could happen.
So yeah.
Thing
Yeah,
is, like, do you remember how like people were balking at like $100 a part? Like when back when Mosley's was charging $100 per. You remember that?
I remember.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So then we went down to 35, and everyone was super relieved. They were super happy. And now it's going back up to 75. It's a pretty reasonable price point. Maybe we could charge a few dollars extra, and I'm not opposed to charging a few extra, honestly. But we
No,
can't
I'm not
get too
saying not a
close to
word.
100 because, from my understanding, they still get paid the same now as they did then. I mean, there's some people that are making more, like in their giant fucking semi trucks, but that's not everyone,
Yeah.
I would state it like this: most everyone doesn't understand how to make money with this, so I'll give the full answer. Most people are going for rep and not going for money, and that's why it's hurting their wallet. But they are all well within their capacity to be doing money runs, like whether it's Group 6 or whether it's Grime. If most of them are doing like a single point pickup,
Yeah,
and
we're
what
gonna
that means
definitely
is
keep that card up
they
our
get
sleeve,
more
100%.
like they're getting in more runs, meaning more rep. But as a side effect, they're doing the going to the shop and back to the shop. They're wasting all that, they're putting all that damage on the vehicle. But if they instead go and pick up a shitload of bags or like a shitload of boxes, they get a much bigger payout. But they're choosing to not do that to invest in their future.
That makes a lot of sense.
So they
That's
have
really
the
fucking
capacity.
stupid, but it makes sense. I get it.
It's really stupid. And in some way, and this is kind of why I'm like kind of like on both sides of the fence on it, in many ways, they're offsetting the cost onto the mechanics and saying, fix our vehicles so we can get the big truck, please.
Good point. That's actually a really good point when you put it like that. They're basically, but you know what the thing is though, like that's kind of the attitude a lot of people have. Is they essentially see mechanics as slave labor, right? Like, they would rather buy the parts themselves, and if we're not doing it for free, they don't even want it. They don't even want us to do it for free. Like they would rather do it themselves. So you're right, 100%.
So prior to this conversation, I was shoring up conversations with people for materials and suppliers and whatnot. It sounds like that's something that I need to be less worried about. But I will have the open concern of like, is there enough pots that are going to be coming in to supply my guys? Because I'm going to need some kind of backup, right?
That's going to depend on how my next meeting goes. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe yes, maybe not. We'll see.
All right.
I'll let you guys know.
All right.
If it does work, then yeah, I'll have basically unlimited supply. And if not, then it's going to be a bit more spotty.
Sounds good. I'm gonna have Chip pick me up here.
My ideal circumstance, Mary, and I can only
Vinny.
speak for myself. Is,
Hey,
that
Chip.
you do this-
Can you
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
me up at the Carso Way, Los Santos Customs? I was just having a meeting with Nino and Mary.
What Los Santos Customs are you at?
The one that we originally were gonna open.
Okay, yeah. I'm grabbing a car right now. I'm in Chumash and back down. I'll come snag you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, see you.
Bye.
The nice thing about my business model is I don't need to be around for it to run.
That's good.
So, I need to get up and running off the ground first, though. But if everything works out the way that I plan, I don't even need to touch it.
So what's the value of materials out there right now? 2 to 225 a piece. People, I guess, are paying.
Yeah, about that.
Okay. So that's what I've been seeing a lot on Twitter, on Yellow Pages. So
There's some people that think that they're not gonna sell for less than $4 per.
huh?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that'll mean the influx of prices on stuff. So
That
yeah.
would mean, yeah, if they're selling it at $4 per, I would have to charge you guys like $67 per part, I think.
I mean, at the moment it starts inching up in that direction, then it sort of forces our hand to, get our own, materials coming in.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Now,
And
how
that's
would
another
you,
thing I want to
Yeah, I think I
throw by you, Mary, is that, I can shore up materials as well.
Yeah.
And what would your manufacturing costs look like, right?
If you provided the materials?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to
Yeah.
ask too.
All right, I'll tell you what. If you guys provide the materials, I could probably sell you them for. Let me do some math really quick.
You can take your time on the price, right? There's a lot of moving pieces, so you got to think
Yeah, I
on
got
it. It's
you.
not a problem.
No, I understand. At the current price of materials, if you were to provide them to me, I could sell you guys parts for about $18 per.
Down
Roughly.
from 50.
Yeah, down 50. Materials are pretty expensive, so.
So you said 18 per part?
Listen, I'll just give you guys the numbers straight up so you can understand the economics I'm working with here, okay? So mechanics get a margin of $25. I get a margin of $18. The rest of it's cost that it takes to make the parts. So if you guys provide the materials, I'll take my margin and then you guys can make the profit off it. But
This is really funny. I'm looking at my notepad and your numbers are matching mine. I
I
put
know they do.
25 for mechanics too.
yeah, I know they do. Because I think they're pretty solid numbers, frankly. I mean,
They are.
really, I'm being pretty generous and giving a pretty sizable margin to the mechanics, but that's because that's where I want most of the money going.
So you said if we supply materials, it'd be 18 per part.
Yep.
Okay. How is she doing it cheaper than
And then 50
22?
with.
50 if I have to do it.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
sounds good.
Well, this is good.
Zakarsky, they give it a 56
These
months,
numbers
baby.
obviously are very heavily subject to change. This is based
Yeah.
off of.
That's based
I'm
off
probably
of
gonna put
material
together.
price.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have like a working spreadsheet that goes off of a few different variables, just so I can kind of have a quick reference for numbers at any given time, so I can coach you guys whatever is going on in the city.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, for all we know, like we wake up tomorrow and who knows, right?
Yeah,
who fucking knows?
exactly.
I mean, shit changes pretty quick, so.
All right,
how it
guys.
works.
I'm going to get up out of here. Nice to meet with you guys. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll keep in
Okay.
contact.
Yeah, I
All
gotta
right,
go
guys.
because I'm his ride, so.
Oh, no, I have a ride.